If you've been following the COVID rules in Australia, you would know that Australia has the strictest rules in the world besides New Zealand. They have a mandatory 14-day quarantine for anybody coming in internationally. So I came in from the States yesterday, got in about 8:15, and there were police to greet everybody. They put us in a bus, processed us. We had to have another COVID swab before, COVID swab when we arrived. Put us in a bus and took us to a hotel. I've got a guard. I should actually open the door, but I think that I might get in trouble. There's a guard like 20 feet from my door, and I have to stay here for 14 days. So I will go into all the details in a little bit. Here's the reason that I ended up coming here. My dad is dying. He's 97. He's in hospital, and I desperately wanted to say goodbye to him. And my brother-in-law just passed away a week ago. Two tragedies in 1 week. So I booked a fare. It was $4,200 plus for economy, and it's very expensive. And I knew that there was mandatory quarantine. I'm stuck. The thing is, you have to do it in the port of arrival, or port of entry. Port of entry is here in Sydney. There's no port of entry anywhere else in the country. So poor Sydney, their health department ends up copying all the problems. If anybody has an issue, then they have to deal with it. Victoria, where I'm from and I'm trying to go to, I was trying to get permission to leave here during quarantine, get on an airplane, fly to Victoria, complete my quarantine there, be taken out to the hospital, see my dad, say goodbye. I got permission from the hospital. It was granted. They told me that there are no planes. I can't fly out of here. I'm stuck because you need to be on a COVID-free flight. Now Qantas had them, and you could get on a flight, and they had like six seats in front, 6 seats in the back that were unoccupied for social distancing, and they decided to stop because it was costing them too much money. I can understand that. So I'm stuck here. So I was on the phone this morning and with the health department here, and they were really nice, sympathized with me, but they said, hey, we have no flights. We can't get you there. We'll approve you, but we cannot get you there. I need a permit. Can you see that? I need a permit to cross the border. There's some other paperwork that I needed too. So I did everything they asked me to do. All these rules, and it doesn't matter. I can't get on a plane. There are no planes. TV, if I want to watch a movie, it's $15. If I want to call out on this fabulous phone, it is $1 for the first minute and 50 cents for every minute after that. So that's what I was paying. I was paying that to talk to the people in the health department. I get calls from the psychologists. They want to know if I'm going to commit suicide. Seriously. They say, you okay? You fit the profile. You have all of this stress going on. So, yeah. Well, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm not going to kill myself. I'm not going to do anything crazy to myself. But I said, call me back in 10 days. I might change my mind. I only have 2 towels. They only give me like 2 towels for 7 days. And bedding, they'll give me bedding. I can change all the bedding once a week. So I just thought you might be interested in knowing what COVID jail in Australia is like. It's called quarantine, and the people here love it. They think it's great. This is the end of day 2. In about 3 hours, I will have finished day 2. And I only have 12 days left. Yoo-hoo, getting there. So another psychologist called me last night. She was actually quite nice. We talked for like a half an hour about the COVID cult. I won't give her name. She'd probably be fired if I did. Somebody finds out. But anyway, so look at this. See this thing? This is the little form that I'm supposed to scan, and I've been doing it to see how my COVID swab went. That's the one that they put priority on it with the big red label so they could be processed really quickly, because the idea was that I wouldn't have to be here in Sydney and they were going to stick me on an airplane, send me off to Victoria so I could see my dad. Of course, none of that happened. But guess what else didn't happen? This hasn't happened. So it's almost 48 hours. So let's try it. I'm going to scan it this way. So there's the app that I uploaded. Let's see, make sure that it's here. Oops, there it is, right there. And there's my thing that I got to scan, and let's see what happens. Here it is. And results, no results. This is my view. Pretty, isn't it? That's the one nice thing about this room. It's real pretty at night. So all the lights are on. Just got my breakfast. Pretty good. I've now finished 4 days of quarantine. See, look, I look like I've just had an electric shock. Okay, so breakfast came this morning, and I put down low carbs. This is my low carbs. Hash browns. There are hash browns anyway. Hash browns in there, and then there's a slimy old egg. Then I've got jam, candy, real low carb here, fruit, milk, more low carb. Here's the solution to runny eggs. Sitting here facing the window, it faces south. So I'm in the southern hemisphere, no sun comes in here whatsoever. In the northern hemisphere, if you're facing north, there's no sun. Anyway, I got caught up with my family today, got to see my dad. They say he's got hours to live. He's just breathing is really, really bad. He's totally struggling. He can't weigh more than 50 pounds. He's just skin and bone. So I'm just waiting for the call. It's heartbreaking. Anyway, I was just looking at MeWe. It says, how to weaken your immune system. Avoid fresh air. My windows don't open. I can't open the door except to just get my food and, you know, put my trash out. It's the highlight of my day, actually. So avoid fresh air. Check. Avoid movement. Well, it's not like I can move around much in here. Check. Sterilize your hands several times a day. Well, you know, I wash my hands after I eat food and before I eat food. So that I don't think that counts. Lack of oxygen. Inhaling your own viruses and bacteria. CO2, wearing a mask. Well, I'm not wearing a mask in here, so I think I'm okay. But there's no fresh air, none. Vitamin D deficiency, definitely vitamin D deficiency. And get this last one. Emotional stress, isolation, and fear. Haha, hello, check. Hello. I have completed 5 days. Basically, the way it works is you arrive at a certain time. I arrived here in the hotel, 11 o'clock in the morning. It's 24-hour cycle, so but you have to spend the night. So you only count the days, like day 1 is when you've slept 1 night. I have now slept here 5 nights, which means 5 days. And I found out I can be released between 4 a.m. and 10 a.m. That's my release time slot when I do get released out of COVID jail. And then the day before, they're going to bring in the police. Nobody tells you this. Somebody accidentally, you know, one of these therapists that call me all the time, you know, my two calls a day, therapist, nurse, and then one is the therapist. They said, police come on the day 13, and then police, a nurse, and a doctor. Then I walk out. I can get out at 4 o'clock. They let me out 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be out. I've already booked my flight. And I have to wear an armband, or like a band of some kind, it's an identifier. My dad just passed away about a few minutes ago. I've completed 7 full nights quarantine. So I'm kind of halfway through. And I went to take a shower this morning, and my towel is soaking wet. And I'm not sure really why it's not drying out. So then I went and got some clean clothes, and everything smelled moldy and musky. And nobody can come into the room. Why is my throat sore now all of a sudden? I thought I don't dare say anything because they're going to think I have COVID. What it is, it's mold in the room. It's just getting moldy in here. Can't open the windows. There was a big thunderstorm last night, which was actually quite pretty. You know, thunderstorms are really pretty. All this lightning and rumbling and everything. Bit of rain. But so I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but my clothes smelled moldy, and the towel this morning when I went to take a shower was completely wet. Didn't even dry out. So I called down and asked, when are we going to get some new towels? So, you know, I've been in here all this time, and I thought, surely, maybe they're going to be dropping them off today. And she said, oh, we'll drop them off on Monday. And I'm thinking, today's Saturday. So I counted that up, and that's like 8 to 9 days. So really, you're using each towel a minimum of 4 times each. It's gross, you know? So anyway, and this is a nice hotel. This is like a 5-star hotel, supposedly. So they sent me up some towels, and now I have towels on the bed. Here are my towels. And I'll turn the other dirty ones in. I'll just put them in the same bag and put them in the hallway. Talk to my mom because, you know, my dad died yesterday. And she had a really interesting dream. She's really good about like dreams. Her dreams are pretty prophetic. And she just dreamt that there was all this screaming, and she fell asleep once and screaming, and then she woke up, and then she was wake up for a while, and then she was awake, and then she went back to bed, and she had the same dream, and it was all this screaming. And I thought, oh my gosh, Mum. I was thinking, what did, you know, like what's that about? And I said, well, what do you mean screaming? Can you be a bit more specific? She said, yes, there were like 1,000 people, and it was like when somebody, like a ship comes in or a flight comes in and people are greeting you at the airport or at the docks. She said it was a happy scream, and she said it was families. And I said, so that was like Dad's 97, right? He was 97. So all of these families and all these people, they were screaming and applauding because, hey, you're here, you're in heaven. We're going to have a fun time. So I thought that was really comforting. Well, I just got lunch, and I'm still full from breakfast because breakfast came late. Let's see what I got. Oh, I got fish. I wonder what kind of fish that is. I don't know. It's white fish. It's Australian fish. Ooh, look at those veggies. Lemon. It's good. But it's got coconut. I don't know. Probably super healthy. March 14th today, and I'm on the downhill slope, I think. So since it's the 14th today, that means that I arrived on the 7th, so I'm halfway through, and I leave on the 21st, which just so happens to be my 70th birthday. I never ever in a million years thought I would be sitting here in a hotel on my 70th birthday. It might be, you know, it's kind of a landmark birthday. I'm like really old. But anyway, this is where I am. Exciting, I've got a kiwi. What can I say? I'm just trying to be positive. I'm on the downhill slide. Just 7 more nights here. Just 7 more nights. But anyway, 6 more nights to go. And it's happening slowly. So a little bit of an update. This is what's been going on. Broken out with something. I don't know if it's a bite or what. Didn't take a shower at all yesterday trying to dry this place out. So I took a long hot shower this morning, washed my hair and everything. And right away it smells. I can smell the muskiness. And then I pulled out some clothes that I had in a drawer, like a drawer here by my bed. And it smelled fresh, you know, just like when I put it in there. And then in my closet in here, I pulled out something else and it smelled musty. So there's something going on in this room that's bothering me. So yesterday, I spoke to the nurse again, and this time I actually had my friend from the States. I happened to be on FaceTime when the call from the nurse came in. They call and they check in every day to make sure that you don't have any COVID symptoms. And she heard my conversation and she freaked out. She said, oh my gosh, this is, so, you know, the nurse said she would check in with the manager, never heard anything back. And all I've asked for is spray can with Glen 20 to kill any kind of, if there's any bacteria or stuff floating around in here. I don't know how Glen 20 works on mold, but it might be just something that might help. And I'm just so congested and it's getting worse. And I did ask the nurse about congestion and she said, I don't know, you know, she didn't have any answer for me there. That was the day before. So anyway, got a bag of towels, fresh towels, and a new roll of toilet paper, one ply. Seriously, you can see through it. Yeah, towels and sheets. So I can change my bedding today. So that's fair enough. I'm going to call in a little bit, call down to management and say, what's going on? Why can't I get just a spray can of Glen 20? Just called, somebody picked up, and then they hung up. That was, you know, the concierge desk. So maybe they were just really super busy. Imagine they probably are. Why that thing? It's bleeding. It's just been since I've been here in the last few days. It's popped up. It's weird. Okay, I'm gonna try again. So let's see what happens. Hello, this is 1906. Hi, is there a floor manager or a manager that I can speak with, please? Yeah, well, it's just regarding my room. Thank you. It's a call that I made over the weekend and also to the nurse about the mold in my room, or smell of mold anyway. So it's a health, yeah, it's a health issue. Well, I spoke to the nurses yesterday and she said she would communicate that to someone and nothing happened. Just trying to get a can of Glen 20 so I can spray it in my room. Oh, nobody's around. All right. Okay, yeah, because I called and spoke to the manager on Saturday. He said he would take care of it. Nothing happened. I spoke to the nurse yesterday. Nothing happened, so. All right, thank you. Okay, bye. So they're going to call me back. Okay, well, you know, people are busy, so they're not always available at a whim, and so I have to be patient, right? Fair enough, right? Okay, I received a call back, not from the manager, but from the concierge desk, and they're going to send, they can't give me a can of it for some reason, so probably would have been wise for me to, probably to just order it myself, huh? Anyway, they're going to send engineering up, and they're putting it on their schedule. They'll send engineering up, and then I have to actually go into the bathroom when that happens, and the bathroom is sort of, I think, where the smell is emanating from. So, but anyway, I can smell it. They probably won't have a very good, strong sense of smell. But anyway, this is progress. Just make sure that there's no mold in here. So last night, I'm watching the news, and somebody in one of these quarantine hotels who works here ended up testing positive for COVID. You know, when they test these, the people come in here healthy and then they're testing for COVID at like day 11, and then they say, oh, you know, must have been COVID in their system. And I said, no, somebody's bringing it in. And that's on the news last night. Luckily, it was not this hotel. It's another hotel. It's a security guard. But the security guard, they interact with other people. And the security guard got his first COVID vaccine, which is not a vaccine, and then apparently came down with COVID. He was tested, and he said he didn't have any symptoms. I bet you he had symptoms, and he was just keeping his zip, you know, he needed the work, so he didn't say anything. So he tested positive, and now they're doing all this tracing, and whole bunches of people that he's been around, they all have to quarantine. Anyway, it's not this hotel. It's there are two other hotels, actually. He must have worked at both of them. But it definitely speaks to my hypotheses that the virus, when people test late, that the virus isn't in them, dormant, that it's coming in because of the workers here, because there's so many people who work in these hotels, and they are infecting the people who are in quarantine. The people in quarantine end up having to re-quarantine up to a month. So I just stripped my bedding and down to the bed cover, mattress cover. Looks all right. Continuation of making the bedding, and I found something on the duvet, or the down fell. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, it's probably, I would say it's probably coffee stain. It doesn't, I mean, it's not me. I haven't spilled anything here, but it's probably some coffee stain, and then there's another one. Oh, maybe it's something weird. You know what? No, I doubt it, but it really shouldn't. What I'll do is I'll flip it around so I sleep on this side. Seriously now, is this okay? Just changing the pillow. Pillow's really nasty. It's a really old, grungy pillow. I mean, it's soft enough, but this is what I've been putting my head on at night. I don't know. It's a pretty big stain. Makes you wonder, like, what do people do in these rooms to get all this on a pillow? Dang! Look, it's the other side of the same pillow. I mean, it's gross. Anyway, I'm going to put it on the other side of the bed. I only, you know, I won't use it, but I'll put the pillowcase back on it, and I'm not going to use it. But look at this. Shoot. Who knows what the heck has been on this? Look. What is that? Okay, this one is much better. This one I'll sleep on. Got a tap on the door, knock, knock, knock. And I thought, who could that possibly be? With all of my visitors here, went out, and this is what was at the door. My daughter sent those to me. So, okay. Well, that's brightening up my day. Oops, they're pretty. Look at that. Okay. That was really sweet of her, wasn't it? 5 nights left. So I'm sort of anxious, getting really anxious for this thing to be over. There's a lot going on, and I'm sort of not able to participate, you know, at home. So you're locked in here and you really can't do anything. I'm not feeling very well either. I don't know if it's just psychological. My mum's having a real hard time. So I worry about her that she's going to go next. She's 92, and this has taken a massive toll on her. That job, that career, that's all she did. She worked. She worked from about 5:30 in the morning till 10 at night, up until just, honestly, this happened with him having to go in the hospital, because that's what dementia does. You're just occupied, feeding, cleaning, changing, helping go to the bathroom. I mean, you name it. Well, engineering came in today, and I had to sit back exactly where I'm sitting, actually right here, wearing a mask, but they were very nice. They went into the bathroom and they did something. They plunged the shower drain. They said that's where the problem was. They said I don't know if there was something in there, but anyway, they plunged it and they cleaned the vents here in the bedroom, and I can really see it. So there was obviously a lot of junk coming out. But the room smells good now, so there must have been something going on. And they confirmed. They said, yeah, there was. So, another day, almost done. I finished the eulogy. I've got to get it down to, well, they want me to have it down to 10 minutes. 15 is the best I can do. I started off with about 35, and I chopped and I chopped and I chopped and modified, and trying to still keep the meat in it. My dad was 97, and he was funny. He was outgoing. He had a massive personality. How do you get all of that down into 10 minutes? Anyway, he was a cute little bugger. I should post a picture of him, shouldn't I? I might just do that next. It is so beyond boring. In fact, when the engineers came in, I was really excited. Actually, human beings about 25 feet from me, 2 guys. Yeah, couldn't see one of them. He had masks and double masks and everything on. The other guy could see him a little bit better. 4 nights left. It is 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I do know that in 2 days from now, I will get a COVID screening again, and then the following day, as long as it turns out okay, which I sure hope it does, because, you know, we have this shared ventilation throughout this whole building. So I'm hoping it does. And of course I'm hoping it does. And then there were like 5 people I heard. I spoke to a doctor today. And like 5, there's a doctor and a police officer and a nurse and a social worker and one other person. Anyway, they'll all come and visit me one day before my release. And as long as my COVID screening comes out okay. And then today I received a box of masks and a letter for all of us, everybody in here. Now when we go to open the door to get our food, the bag of food, or we go to put the trash out, we actually have to wear a mask just to open the door. And then we have to wait 30 seconds after they knock to say that your food is there. We have to wait 30 seconds. New rules. Something in this room has given me bad allergies. But anyway, trying to keep myself busy. I've spoken to everybody at home today. Everybody's busy. They're running around. They don't have time to be chatting to me all day. So here I am. It's raining outside in beautiful Sydney. Best peach. The last few days I get peaches and they are the best. Like picking them off a tree. They swabbed me this morning really early. Knock on the door, and there were the nurses. As long as I don't have COVID, we do have vents. Anything can come through the vents. You remember Legionnaire's disease? It was mold that came through the vents, killed people. It's really bad. And COVID isn't being known to come through vents. I know in New York, that's what happened to some families. I feel good, except I'm always congested, always congested. What can I do? Nothing. It is day 13, and I posted a picture of today's breakfast, 3 eggs and then a medley of vegetables. It was gross. It's the first vegetables I've had that really did not taste good. And they usually have the results by noon. Oops. So, I just dropped my pen. So anyway, obviously the results are not in yet. So hopefully I'm going to call down and find out why my results are not back, see what they say. No answer, no answer. Oh hi. Can you put me through to the nurses, please? Thank you. No answer. Oh, answer. Yeah. Recording. Transferred to the operator. And all the results are supposed to be in by noon. And I'm anxious, naturally, because you can get a false positive, right? False positive, does happen. Guess what just happened? I'm cleared, I'm done. And look, not yellow, pink. So, beats me. I said something, I said, oh, is this the normal color? Have you changed it? He said, oh, we have a different color for each day. So, I don't know, that's probably one of their precautions. So, ironically, the one that I saw was yellow. I'm happy that it's pink. I'm really happy it's pink. Anyway, I've got my papers. I'll show you my papers. And I'm really pleased. So, there's this one here is for the New South Wales State Emergency Operations. It says that I'm out of quarantine. And then this one is the result that I received a negative test. So you'll be rid of me soon. I'll be out the door. And the police officer, there were only 3. Let's see, no, there was 1, 2, no, there were 3. There weren't 5 people. Or if there were, I didn't see them. Police officer said, what time would you like to leave? And I said, oh, 4:01 a.m. And he said, oh, I'll put down 4:01. I said, oh, no, I was just joking, He said, well, no, really, what time would you like to leave? What shall I put you down for? And I said, oh, okay, between 4 and 4:30. He said, all right, put it down. And he said, if you want to make a change to that, call downstairs or call down the reception and let them know that you've made a change. So obviously they monitor everything. So the hot pink is probably for people being released today. If somebody walks out with a different color, then yeah, it's probably one of some sort of security. bang on my door, and I thought, what's going on? So I thought, oh, it's my dinner. So I opened the bag, and it's not my dinner. It is this. I can't believe it. Bottle of Pinot Noir and a cake for my birthday tomorrow from the hotel. See if I can get it. Is that nice? Well, it is the 21st today, so it's my birthday officially. I'm 70 years old. Happy birthday to me. And I will be sprung out of here in about 1 hour. I just have to change, put on some makeup. So that's me. I'm just about ready to say goodbye. So almost at the very end of this little project that I've been working on. I'll take one more, and that will be kind of as I'm leaving, and then I'll say bye-bye. Well, there's the door. Got my little bag packed with my wine, my cake, and my flowers. My suitcase, I'm all packed, saying goodbye to my view. And this is bye-bye. Okay, see ya.